Significant situation in romantic love, Sagittarius, you'll be dealing with for the remainder of September. And what you have been dealing with throughout September, we have the World, very nice. A fixed sign may be significant. The World is about closing up an old cycle, more so spiritually, and taking a leap of faith and beginning the next one. You are actually spiritually ready to close out that old cycle. And again, it may be about, moving things forward in a relationship, releasing a relationship. In your own life, it might be that there are big changes going on and something new that you've begun or are about to begin or are closing up, has had a deep impact, and it indeed has. Whatever the surface level things are, that is this major cycle ending and a new beginning happening. Spiritually speaking, there's a leveling up, especially with the star that's occurring with you, and a brand new chapter of life, love, and who you are in a spiritual sense is actually beginning. And it is about fully committing to that new cycle and releasing the past that you're dealing with this month and for the remainder of the month. With the World, a fixed sign may be significant. A Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius. Challenge, obstacle, or blockage you face in regards to the situation. We have the Seven of Wands. So a bit of a, there is, with the Seven of Wands, an energy of you holding your position and a guardedness. Okay. Now, whether this is speaking to moving on, and letting go of the past with someone specific, or just releasing all of the stuff you've been through, that is weighing on you energetically, that's for singles, and those who are in committed relationships. Seven of Wands does suggest that there is a guardedness and kind of a digging in, and not releasing that and fighting this new beginning, because there is still stuff that is spiritually, unreleased, and that you're still grappling with, though it's over in the highest sense and needs to be let go of. Okay, so fighting this stuff that's manifesting as you did this, you didn't do this, or the constant back and forth, not releasing the past. And also it could be for singles or those of you in romantic connections, the past pain that you're still fighting, though you are spiritually ready to release it. Okay, that stuff is in a real sense not consequential, in that it can be released and you can have a new beginning, but you need to stop grappling with that stuff and have perspective and let it go and move forward, whatever that may be for each of you, and it'll be different. But let's get some more information. The core issue of all of this, of the situation, we have the Devil. So as I said, this is a Capricorn energy, but the Devil is, it's not always toxic energy. It can definitely and often does spin into toxic energy, but the Devil energy is worldly energy, right? It's egoic energy. And when I say egoic, I don't mean, someone who's being like, obnoxious and controlling and acts like a, dictator and is oppressive. It could point to that technically, but it's also Capricorn energy, which is hardworking and very focused, focused, and stability focused and matter focused, right? And as I said, Devil energy, Seven of Wands, you are holding on to, the core issue of this is, because of a egoic sense of self, you are in too much of a fixed way, digging, like doubling down and digging in your heels, and it needs to be this way, and whatever it may be. I must have this, or there's an inflexibility, and there is, for some of you, a toxic kind of fixed, controlling energy of like my way or the highway, to be honest. Okay. For others of you, it is just a very kind of stability focused, fixed position that you're taking that is not allowing you to transcend and spiritually release that stuff, And what the devil energy and the Seven of Wands is I've been hurt, I'm not. It's very black and white kind of thinking. And with the World, this says you're ready to let go of all that and have a brand new beginning, whether for those who are dealing with reconciliation, forgiveness, and moving forward, or forgiveness and moving forward without them. Okay. For singles, letting go of that fixed position, and it must be this way, and this is my truth. It needs to be released. Okay. Those are outdated beliefs. You have spiritually outgrown that, but you're still, you're still in the weeds when you don't need to be. You can fly. Okay. So that is the core issue of the situation, whether you are in a romantic connection or you're single. As I said, for singles, you're ready to move forward, but you're still holding on to baggage, which is making you have a fixed position and not full perspective. Okay. For those of you in romantic connections, specifically dealing with reconciliation, you cannot and you will not let the stuff go that is holding up reconciliation. For those of you who are in romantic relationships, you're holding your that are not broken up. You're holding your position too firmly, and you are, as I said, doing it needs to be this way. No, I didn't say like when I said put the spoon, whatever, just like random example, in the sink, I don't mean just throw it in the sink. I mean place it in the sink, or whatever it might be. We need to get married at this time. It needs to be like this. And then there's bickering and there's stuff like that. There needs to be flexibility and the bigger picture, and all of that stuff needs to be released so you can move forward with or without them, move forward in new love, whatever the case may be. Significant past, which has led to the current situation. So with the Ace of Swords, there was clarity about moving on. However, there is reluctance to actually do so. Okay? You're still, as I said, holding on to old attachments, which is not allowing you to move forward, whether single or attached or dealing with reconciliation. And it's manifesting as fear, anger, you didn't do this, you're supposed to do this, whatever it might be. Where you're at currently, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in regards to this situation. So I see what you want. Full commitment with a 10 of Pentacles. You want it all, which is absolutely no issue. But the way you're going about it, right, by doubling down and digging in your heels, is not going to get you there. Okay. But 10 of Pentacles, very beautiful card. You want a happy, committed, stable life partnership. You want it to be a comfortable life, have it be successful, filled with family, love, warmth, security, all of that. Very beautiful. And that's what you're focused on. But in attaining this, right, and the other person, or finding someone for singles to have that with, there is too much of a fixed, tight grip on how you're going about it. Okay. Now, to be fair, because this is a general reading, this could be your love interest energy. And for singles, this other person could be either someone you have your eye on or someone who is interested in you. I specifically put in that intention when I was shuffling the cards. Now we have the High Priestess. Very lovely. So this could be your love interest energy, someone who's interested in you, or could very well be your energy, but it's Piscean energy. Someone, is hanging in there because they have and tapping into their deeper intuition, because they do feel that this is going to work. So they are hanging in there. Now, for some of you who are dealing with reconciliation, who've not been seeing this person, and the two of you not been speaking, this person is holding their position, all the while knowing that it is a matter of time, and they're waiting for things, if you've been fighting, to cool down, but they do feel that this is right and this is going to happen. Now, this could alternatively be your energy, okay? And the other person wants, full commitment, and this person is tapping into their deeper intuition about, they do feel it's meant to happen, but also they are tapping into their intuition about when, okay? And, how, and things like that. I have to say, with the High Priestess energy, this person is trying to, especially for those of you who've been fighting, this person is trying to deeply connect with their deeper knowing and stick with that, because there's other stuff that's happening that does make them question whether or not this can happen, or if it's good for the both of you or good for them. But just to recap, one person wants full commitment, a happy, comfortable life filled with love and success and stability. The other person also feels that this person is right for them. However, they are tuning into their deeper knowing about when is the right time, and I do feel that they feel it is right and it is a matter of time, but there is some kind of conflict and uncertainty that happens, because for those of you who are single and this is your love interest, there is an uncertainty, though they know deep down inside that this is right and they feel that you're the right person for them. They're tapping into their intuition because there is uncertainty about, is this other person ready? And does this person want to get out there again? Because there seems to be a guardedness and a very fixed kind of a position. Could also be, for those of you who are in committed relationships, that this person, as I said, deep down inside does feel that the two of you are to be together. However, there does come times of uncertainty because there is such a fixed position that you are taking, okay? And they are trying to, especially those of you who are not on speaking terms, they're trying to tap in to that deeper knowing and stay on that path, because, beyond the deeper knowing, when things, transpire between the two of you where there's guardedness and it has to be my way, this person, whoever's energy this is, and this could be Sagittarius, your love interest energy, where they're doubling down and being very fixed and they need it this way. But the other person, who's the High Priestess energy, they are very much, at times struggling, though they know deep down inside they want to be with the other person. They do struggle with uncertainty because the other person is taking such a fixed position, okay? Likely outcome of the situation, Three of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. I feel that and of course the Queen of Swords had to show up. The Queen of Swords almost always shows up for your reading, Sagittarius. I feel I'm picking up on a group of Sagittarian energy where they've been through a lot and they are taking a very hard line with love and with their love interest, and they are not they're going to have it their way, or it's not going to happen. Okay. Likely outcome is, with the Three of Wands and the Queen of Swords, I feel that someone is waiting for stability, okay? Because the Three of Wands is waiting for the Four of Wands, things to be firmly established, things to be, really solid. Now, the reason why is, with the Queen of Swords, someone is, and this is Libran energy, it's also Aquarian energy, as well as Gemini energy. But basically, let me start with singles. I think what you're going to be doing and dealing with singles is, as I said, it is about moving forward. but I feel that with the Queen of Swords, you're very guarded. When the Queen of Swords shows up, even in her highest polarity, there is a rigidity and inflexibility to her. Her truth is absolutely truth, but it's her truth. Okay? It is not universal truth. And there's a reason why she's guarded, and that's real. However, it is not just because of, one person. It's a compounded expression of past experiences. So the Queen of Swords has been through a tough time, and for that reason, she has gained from her experience that this is my bottom line, and she's not going to budge from that. And she's not going to let down her guard, and she will cut you out of her life, probably with a, very good tongue lashing to accompany that. She will cut you out of her life if her exacting, precise standards aren't met. Okay? Now, with the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords clarifying the Three of Wands, basically I feel that, your guardedness is going to be making singles. You wait before jumping out there again and getting out there or pursuing, someone that you may or may not have your eye on, or even dating again. You're waiting to feel more stable. Now, I feel that this is strongly for those of you who are dealing with reconciliation and are in actual relationships and romantic connections. Someone doesn't necessarily have to be your energy, but because the Queen of Swords comes up so often in your readings, I think it's likely it is your energy, Sag. But with the Three of Wands and the Queen of Swords, someone is waiting with the Three of Wands for their exact, precise standards of commitment and stability to be met, and until then, this is not going to be moving anywhere. Okay?